Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. I just had a new idea for our song about the Name Your Price tool. So when it's like, tell us what you want to pay, hey, hey, hey.
Hello, welcome everybody to Dead Mouse Radio. I'm your host, Jay Smooth. Shouts out to my host, Badmouth Johnny. He's having some medical problems, so I'm here by myself today. So I ain't going to get too much into that because I don't know how much of his business that he wants out there. Well, I had a couple topics, I was going to jump into. Let's see. Man, they found Bill Cosby guilty. Let's go into that first. Right off the top, let's just go into that. It's been a kind of a crazy, how can we say, it's kind of a crazy week. I guess really like in the law enforcement because like they captured the Golden State Killer. They find Bill Cosby guilty. They free Meek Mill. And they find this one murderer that had killed this girl up in North Tonawanda back in 1993. They solved that case too. So it's been kind of off the chain crazy for the law enforcement. But I was just like, I'm sitting here and I'm listening and I'm seeing all of these women. I mean, all of these women, man. I mean, I'm to the point where, like, man, like one or two, I'm not saying that that's okay, but you can see, but 70, like over 50-something. I mean, it was an enormous amount of women that claimed that he had, that Mr. Cosby had drugged them and did this. And I guess what they were saying was all of these women had like the same story or same incident, but I was just more or less, I was overpowered like by how many women it was. And I was stunned because I'm a man and I'm like, I'm thinking like, man, you got all this money and all this fame and all this power and stuff. What would make you feel like you know what I'm saying, you need to drug anybody? What would make you feel like you need to drug anybody? So I was just wondering, you know what I'm saying, is he like could he be addicted to rape? Is he addicted rapist? Or could all of these women be lying? What I was at loss. I was at a loss, you know what I'm saying, just you know what I'm saying? You get to reading the stuff about his case, and it just all becomes like the same story over and over and over and over again. The Bill Cosby case is like super weird. Super weird. It was just, and I'm shocked that they would, I don't know if I'm more shocked that they found him guilty or, yeah, I think I'm shocked that they found him guilty because I would think that they probably would take his age into consideration. And then I seen one of the charges was from like 2004. And that's still a long time. That's still like 14 years, man. So, yeah, it shocked me. It really shocked me because I would think with Bill Cosby's money and his influence, I wouldn't think that he got found guilty. Yeah, that was pretty shocking. That was pretty shocking. Now, what I'm waiting to see now is like, actually, what are they going to do with Bill Cosby? Man, are they going to send this man to prison, house arrest? What are they going to do? You know what I'm saying? How much time are they going to give Bill Cosby? Are they going to do him like they did O.J.? You know what I'm saying? They didn't get O.J. on a murder. They got O.J. on something that, a robbery, or they claimed some type of weird robbery or whatever, and they gave him all that time. Are they going to do Bill like that? And I've just been wondering, like, why ain't nobody, like, none of these stars stepped up to try to, you know what I'm saying, defend Bill? What's going on with that? They stepped up for Meek Mill, like Meek Mill was like Nelson Mandela or somebody. So I was just like, nobody stepped up to try to even speak on Bill's behalf. At least I haven't heard anybody. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I've heard people do is make jokes about him, calling him Bill Cosby, and, you know what I'm saying, you get on the internet, you see all of the memes and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering, you know what I'm saying? I'm wondering, and it's fascinating because watching Bill as a kid, like all the way from the Fat Albert, you know what I'm saying, being a fan of his from the Fat Albert cartoons to the Cosby Show to this right now. All of that to this right now. If you would have said something about this 20 years ago that Bill Cosby would be on trial for rape, I don't believe anybody in their right mind would have believed it. Because I wouldn't have believed it. You know what I'm saying? This is very fascinating. It's a fascinating thing that's happening to him, but the case ain't as fascinating because once you get into the case, it's like everybody, all of these women are saying the same thing. It's like they all like rehearsed in the same room together or something, or I don't know. Or did he do it? I don't know. I'm at loss for words, man. I'm at loss for words for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to judge him and say if he did it or not. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying that it's a fascinating case once you get to just looking at it. Just looking at the history of the whole thing with Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show and you know what I'm saying, some of the problems he had with some of the females on the Cosby Show. There was even one of the girls from the Cosby Show, she jumps out the bushes naked with paint all over her during Bill Cosby's trial. I don't believe stuff like that helped at all. You know what I'm saying? Helped at all. I found that weird and strange. But just thinking about Bill itself, there's a myth that you get so far up and you're supposed to do certain things. If you don't do certain things, they try to take you down. Now, I don't know how much of that is true. I don't know, because I ain't never had that much money. But I would think that if you had as much money as him, you would make better decisions with your life. But then sometimes they say people get drunk off of power and money, and there's nothing else to do but find ways to abuse people and abuse your power and find ways to use your money in an abusive way. I guess he was in that realm, but me just thinking in my head, I would think that you wouldn't have to do that. Man, you got Bentleys, you got mansions, you got helicopters, and why are you drugging women? You know what I'm saying? If you were doing this, you know what I'm saying, allegedly. Well, we ain't going to say allegedly now. They found Bill Cosby guilty. So I can say, Bill Cosby, why are you drugging women? I don't understand it. And I'm, you know what I'm saying, I sat down and I tried to think about this, and I'm just thinking like, if he must be turned on from just taking advantage of people. Because, you know, there's kleptomaniac, there's serial killer, there's rape. Is Bill Cosby a serial rapist or a serial drug, you know what I'm saying, drug person that slips people drugs and Mickeys and stuff like that? Is he something like that, or what is he for real? You know what I'm saying? What is he for real? Well, I guess in the 12 jurors' eyes, they saying that Bill Cosby's a rapist. And my main question for this was, does this nullify his legendary status? Does this nullify his legendary status? Will they do something like how they did Hulk Hogan, and they went into the WWE Hall of Fame and they ripped down all of his stuff, and they make it now like they don't even know Hulk Hogan, or you know what I'm saying? They try to make it, his presence was so big, but they really would like to make it like Hulk Hogan never really existed. Kind of like Chris Benoit and wrestlers like that and stuff. But that's what's going to happen to Bill Cosby, I'm wondering. But this is going to be interesting because they saying I think he gets sentenced in a couple of months, and he'll probably have more eyes on this than anything in the world during that time. I think time is going to stop during that time of him, everybody waiting for the judge to read off his sentence of how much time they giving the Jell-O pudding pop magnet, the Father of the Year, Bill Cosby. I think time is going to stop, and everybody's going to hang off of every word that this judge says. This judge is going to become so popular for either the right reasons or the wrong reasons. It's either going to be the right people going to say they hate this judge for sentencing Bill Cosby to whatever he sentenced Bill Cosby, or they're going to say they love this judge for sentencing Bill Cosby to whatever he sentenced Bill Cosby. But either way it go, this is going to be a very popular judge, a popular judge like that judge in the O.J. Simpson stuff. Was it Judge Ito, the Chinese guy, a little Chinese dude? Looked like could have been in a karate movie or something, you know what I'm saying? That he became popular for a while. But this is fascinating. This is very fascinating because my thing too is I want to see how much leniency are they gonna give this man. How much are they gonna give this man? Is there gonna be an age thing taken in consideration, like saying, man, he's like 80 years old? What possibly? I believe 5 years in prison is possibly a life sentence to Bill Cosby. There's probably a life sentence. He probably, Lord willing, nothing happens to him because I don't want nobody to lose their life or anything. But just him probably even thinking about getting sentencing is taking like hours off of Bill Cosby's life right now. As Bill Cosby lays up in that big, big house with all of that money and all of that fancy stuff and everything, just him thinking about being sentenced right now is knocking minutes off of his life. And when you that old, you don't have days, hours. You know what I'm saying? He's probably down to minutes. This trial and probably just took away like 2 years from his life. So I'm stuck wondering, like, what are you going to find is a fair sentence for this man? What could possibly be a fair sentence for him? It's very fascinating. I don't know if this case is going to set a precedent in older cases like this with more women that's stepping up and saying that they was taken advantage of. This might set it, him and there's been a lot of the Howard Weinstein or whatever that dude's name is. There's been a lot of these guys with all of this money, like, been getting knocked for the weirdest of things, taking advantage of these women. So, which is completely wrong. I don't even see the need of why you would have to do it. You got all of the advantages in life. You know what I'm saying? It's like you having the answers to the test. You having all of the answers to the test, and you still cheat off of the person's paper next to you, which makes no sense because you got all of the answers to the test. Are you doing it just because you like cheating? And that's the thing that I'm wondering, like, why are these people doing this type of stuff? Because we having a lot of this coming up, and a lot of these women that's coming out saying that they've been taken advantage of by these rich, either older white men or people, rich, older African men like Bill Cosby. So, as the world hangs back, whatever the day is of his sentencing, the world's going to stop for a second, and everybody's going to say, and everybody's going to lay up in their house and they're going to wonder, how much time is the pudding pop magnet going to get? How much time? How much time is fair? How much time is adequate for something like that? How much time would they give a person that didn't have Bill Cosby's money, that didn't have Bill Cosby's power, and didn't have his influence? How much time would they give him? Are they going to give him half of that time? Or are they just going to treat Bill Cosby like his name is, like he's Bill Cosby, the bus driver? How is he going to get treated? It's just another thing on that. I always find it funny, too, like for the first trial, they said something like 52 hours and they deadlocked. So you go 52 hours and you couldn't come to a conclusion. Then you come back in a second trial and you go 14 hours and you come to a conclusion. So what was you doing for all those goddamn hours? How could you come to a conclusion so fast after not being able to come to a conclusion the first time in that long? That always confuses me. You know what I'm saying? That always gets me, like with trials and stuff. Like the deadlocking of a trial is weird and strange because like it's almost of opinion. It's like they can't find. These 12 people can't find you guilty. So the prosecutor gets a chance to bring in another 12 people, toss the same evidence, you know what I'm saying, at these 12 people, and probably a little bit more spice, and they get a second shot at you. I don't even know. I'm not going to go into if that's fair or not, because I don't know too much about the law to know if that's fair or not. But, like, just in my opinion, it doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem fair. Hold on 1 second. Oh, I'm back, man. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. I'm back, though. But, well, yeah. So I don't know if that's fair or not, so I'm not going to go into that. But I will be one of the people that's wondering how much time Bill Cosby's going to get. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be wondering. I'm going to be thinking about that. I'm going to be on top of that. I will be one of the people that will be hanging off of every word that this judge says. And another big thing about that, too, is I want to hear the judge's pardon words, what he has to say to Bill Cosby. You know how at the end they sentence the person, and then the judge gets to throw their 2 cents in of what they feel about the person during the trial and through the evidence, and they always say something, and I don't know. They get to throw their opinion in, I guess, and I'm interested in what the judge is going to say to Bill Cosby, like how the judge did O.J. Simpson when he sentenced him, and they really like told O.J. what they thought of him and all of this stuff. So I want to see what the judge is going to say to Bill Cosby, and I wish Bill Cosby, man, the best of luck, but like. It's kind of hard to feel sorry for a person that didn't had all of those advantages and had all of that money and stuff. Like, it's hard to feel sorry for him. He made a mistake. If he did it, it's a huge mistake. And sometimes it'd be forever before a mistake can come back and get you, but it can come back and get you no matter how much money you got. You know what I'm saying? And I see that now. So everything is like based upon your decisions. And it's hard to feel sorry for Bill Cosby because you've had every advantage. into this life, you know what I'm saying? And so what you did is what you chose to do. That's if you did it. If you did it. Now, there has been people been found guilty and they didn't do nothing. I don't know, but they saying Bill Cosby was found guilty. I'm just saying if he did it. I'm just speaking outside the box, okay? Okay. Well, let's move into this right here. I didn't put this up there, but I was going to talk about this. I was going to talk about LeBron James. As I'm sitting there watching LeBron, I really realized how great he truly is, man. 101 30-point games in the playoffs. 61 times leading his team in points, rebounds, and assists. It's almost beyond great. It almost feels like you're watching a video game. It almost feels like you're watching having a dream. It's like in dream sequence. I just want to say I'm a huge LeBron fan, so I'm a LeBron supporter, a LeBron apologist, whatever you want to call it. But I'm just speaking like in general. 15 years and playing is good. And what you witness when you watching him is it's almost like you're not even witnessing like a basketball player. It's like you witnessing a basketball artist. And he's gonna paint a picture that's and every picture he paints is just beautiful. Amazing. Amazing pictures, amazing colors. It's splashing at you. It's stars. It's suns. It's everything. It's everything that you can get in a picture. You know those pictures that just grab your attention and you stare at it for like 30 minutes and you lose track of time. That's what we've been doing with LeBron for 15 years. We've been staring at LeBron and watching magic and just losing track of time. Track of time. And just looking at the beauty in every page, it just unfolds right in your face. So easily. So beautifully. So I'm watching the game yesterday. Today, you know what I'm saying? He is the walk-off three. He ends it just, like I say, just so spectacular like every time. And I'm thinking about players like, why ain't Rodney Hood any good? Because I could have sworn coming out, I thought Rodney Hood was gonna be a baller. Especially you down in Utah, it's like being the only black person in Utah almost. You got to be the best ball player. Man, he hasn't lived up to nothing I thought about him. Jeff Green was a huge letdown. I wanted to blame it on Jeff Green's heart because, you know, he does have somebody else's heart in his chest. So I try not to be too down on him. But even yet and still before that, he was never the player that we thought that Jeff Green or Rodney Hood was going to be. Man, I'm looking at Rodney Hood's average, and it's like the most he's ever averaged is like 16.8 points. And then he goes into the playoffs, and his average drops from 16.8 to 10.8. And I just, you know, saying his career average is the most, no, I take that back, excuse me. The most he ever averaged was 16.8. His career average is 13 points. His playoff average is 8.9 points. So he drops from 13 points to 8.9 points. And now he's been in this series, I don't even believe he's getting 8 points. He might be getting something like 4 points or no points. Jeff Green, same way. They like the same type of player. Jeff Green's career average is 13.2. He drops off not as much as not as much as Rodney Hood, but he drops off to 11.0 in the playoffs. So LeBron is basically out there with like they said, valet drivers, a couple of workers from McDonald's, a couple of from Burger King, and they out there beating NBA players. These guys are not looking like NBA players when I'm watching the game. It is almost like LeBron is one against the other team. But he has been amazing. The three-pointer, walk-off, beautiful. Just beautiful. And I just want to say, I believe that I know for a fact that when it's his time to go, there's going to be somebody and something that the NBA and that we going to miss a lot. We're going to miss a lot. And just watching him, and it's just an honor to get to watch him. And he pulls you in every time. He's the most intriguing player, too. And he pulls you in every time. So it's been awesome. Go Cavs. Shouts out to the Cavs and shouts out to LeBron for winning. I just want to toss that up in there. I want to get that up in there. Okay. Man, shouts out to Best Health. I said the next time I was on her, I was going to have some numbers for depression and stuff. I believe I do got some numbers for depression. I didn't get the all of the 1-800 numbers like I wanted to, but I'm going to have those for you next time. But I do got some numbers for depression. If you're in Buffalo, South Buffalo, there's a place called Best Health, it's behavior health, caring for individuals and families in the community. Linwood Community Services. It's on 625 Delaware Avenue, Suite 204, Buffalo, New York. The number is 716-882-31551. That's 716-882-31551. That's just a number if you ever having time, hard times with depression. Those people's real good, real professional, can help you, and always look to talk to somebody, anybody, when you feel like that you are depressed or feeling the depression, because the depression stuff is for real. It's like not nothing to be played with. So if you know anybody that's feeling like that, always make sure that you reach out to them. Man, now let's see. Where was I at? Okay, now I know this. This is one thing I do know. You got to be mature to talk religion and politics. So a lot of people that talk about number 45, when they talk about number 45, they speak from their emotional pulpit. They speak from what they don't like and what they don't see. And a lot of times, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the qualifications is to be a good person. I'm not saying that there's always going to be actions that people's going to take that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be, and they don't even have to be the president to be taking these type of actions. But the question remains, has he, beyond the actions and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And let me break it down like this. The only people that should complain, that has a right to complain, is the people that didn't vote. Because them is the people that left it up to the voters to make the right decision. So we left it up to y'all, the people that didn't vote. We left it up to y'all and trusted y'all to make the right decision. And so y'all put Trump in the office. And see, the first thing a voter do is they say this to a person that didn't vote. Oh, see, you could have made a difference by voting. Okay. So I feel like if you vote and you participate in all of the stuff, and if Trump's in the office and you vote, you participate in this whole shenanigans, this whole game, this whole thing, I feel like you shouldn't complain about who's in office. You should just say you should respect the office. You should respect the office. And that's how I feel. Not saying that that's even right, but that's how Jay Smooth feels, that you should respect the office. And I feel like the people that didn't vote, we left it up to all of you smarty-arties that vote out there to make the right decision for us. And so we got to live with the decision that y'all made, which is Trump. So my question was, is number 45 doing a good job? And if he's doing a bad job, what is he doing bad besides his attitude and stuff like that? Because we know the man got a bad attitude. You know what I'm saying? He's the type of person that really, I can get Trump confused with Vince McMahon. That's the type of person. Trump is a character. Trump might not even be a human being. He's a character. So I know that he's got attitude flaws and character flaws and all of that stuff. I understand all of that. But I'm asking about the job that's getting done in the office. Is he doing a good job? And a lot of times when you ask a question like this, you got to take the emotion out of it and see what's really happening around. Because we know, pretty much everybody knows he's not too much of a nice person. And I'm not trying to defend Trump or nothing. I just want to think logically and want to get some logical answers, you know what I'm saying, some common sense answers, not none of this emotional stuff and, oh, he said this. And I want to know if he's doing a good job. That's what I would like to know. Okay. I want to talk about Golden State versus Houston. Golden State versus Houston. I kind of got, I'm going to be honest with you, I got Golden State beating Houston. And the reason why, and this is just sidebar, this is kind of like, the reason why I got Golden State beating Houston is because I think Houston just chucks up 53s, runs no plays, and they plays the numbers, and they just say, well, we're going to get 53s up, and if we play the numbers, if we get 53s up, we might hit 15 of them, as long as we get up more threes than the next team. I believe that's what Houston does. And they got some people that can shoot some threes, but they got a team full of people that takes a lot of bad shots. And I believe Golden State also want to get up 53s, but they can get up 53s running plays. And when the three-pointer breaks down with Golden State, they can ISO with they got people that can make shots. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? But the main one is Kevin Durant. So I'm calling this game right here. If they make it to the Western Finals, I got Golden State 4-2. I got them 4-2. I'm not going to call the Eastern Finals yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to jinx LeBron. I'm not going to mess with that. I'm not going to mess with that yet. I'm going to leave that one alone. For right now. After this round, though, I will, you know what I'm saying, pretty much call it and stuff. I will pretty much call it. Let's see, where is it? Oh, I know where I'm at. Man, there was a couple of days ago, there was a massive fire on Seneca in South Buffalo. One person lost their life, and I'm sorry to hear about that. It was right up the street from me, too. 2 people was injured. There was a bar called TJ Coffee's, had an apartment upstairs, and I guess it burnt out somehow. Well, I'm not guessing, it did burn out. But I seen the fire going from my house. It went all night, man. I started looking at the fire, looking at them trying to put the fire out at 2:30 in the morning. And when I was getting up to get my kids to school, they were still putting this fire out. So that was pretty bad. So it's probably going to be a lot of changes up on Seneca with the bar and all of that stuff being gone. I think it damaged a couple of shops next to it. They probably knocked all that stuff down. It's just crazy because you can see somebody, and then the next minute something like that's happening. You know what I'm saying? People's losing their life and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. That's strange. Life is funny like that. It's funny like that. But, like, shouts out to TJ Coffees. Man, I hope everybody, you know what I'm saying, be able to pick up their life and put their life, you know what I'm saying, back together. You know what I'm saying, from that, because that's bad. I've been in a house fire before, and I know the feeling of, it's nothing like the feeling of losing everything. Everything. ID, video games, money, clothes, everything being burnt up. So that's a terrible feeling. So I hope those people is able to get the proper help and stuff that they need to get back on their feet and stuff, because I know how tough that is, man. It's a horrible feeling. And which leads me to ask, as I'm watching this fire and I'm thinking, like, who's braver, a police officer or a firefighter? And I was thinking about pros and cons with both, because a firefighter, I would say a firefighter, because a firefighter right off the instance goes right into danger. It don't happen as often as it can, as you can become face to face with danger as a police officer, I don't believe. But when it happens, it's like huge. It's like you having to go inside of a volcano or something when it erupted. And I think that would probably be a little bit more scarier than you having to draw down with a pistol on somebody. You probably would feel a little bit more in control with the pistol. And I don't know how in control they feel like rushing into a fire to save somebody, because that's almost stuff that you can't practice. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that you can practice or you can teach bravery. So I think there's certain type of people that want those type of jobs. And just me, myself personally, I believe probably a firefighter is one of the most bravest people in the world, you know what I'm saying, to me. Because it takes something to run into a blazing fire. It just takes something. You got to have something that's in you to allow you to do that. There'll be people so scared during fires, they be too scared to escape a fire, and that's how they lose. That's how they lose their lives a lot of times. A lot of times, in situations of crisis, people lose their lives in panic. Just the thought of something not going the way that you expected in your head can make you panic. And that's how a lot of times, so like I was just wondering how many firefighters actually panic when they got to go into a full blaze and actually got to save somebody or attempt to save somebody that's in a fire, man. A fire. We're not talking about, you know what I'm saying, a full-fledged fire. So, if you was asking me who was braver, a police officer or a firefighter, I'm probably going to go with the firefighter. Well, that segues me in. I'm going to talk about, man, I watched pretty decent battle today. Pretty decent battle I watched. Briz Rothstein versus O-Red. Pretty decent battle. It wasn't a classic like I wanted it to be. Like sometimes we got these expectations for these battles, and sometimes you raise the expectations so high that when you watch the battle that your expectations for the battle were so high that you're disappointed. So lately, as I've been watching these battles, I've been trying to come into watching the battles and not having these high expectations unless it's certain people. Now, with this battle, I kind of had expectations of it being borderline a classic, an arguable classic. And I got more of frustrated rappers. And I don't like battles where everybody's frustrated and they arguing about the time, and you got people in the crowd having dialogue with people on the stage while they filming this, and you're supposed to be battling, and you having all of these mini arguments and stuff. It just takes away from the battle. But otherwise than that, it was a good battle, decent battle, not a classic. Not great, which a lot of these small room battles that they've been having have not turned out the way that I believe Smack wanted these battles to turn out. But it's, to me, I think they reduced it to the small room to stop two things, to help two things. See, this is what people forget. They wanted to kind of remove the crowd from these battles, but still have a crowd. Because it was the belief, it was the myth that these crowds was disrupting the battles and making it, you know what I'm saying? So they said, well, let's shrink down the crowds. And at the same time, by shrinking down the crowds, that takes a lot of pressure off of battlers. It should take pressure off battlers. That's the thought. That's the myth. So that will reduce the choking. But see, what it is completely opposite to the battlers. Now, instead of having a mass of eyes looking at you, you got a nice amount of eyes that can focus on you. And I've been seeing that that's making certain battlers nervous and causing them to choke more than they probably would choke on a big stage. And I've been thinking about this, and I'm like, everybody's not prepared for the moment. And in battle rap, damn near every time you open your mouth, there's a possibility of having a moment. Every time you open your mouth, there's a possibility of doing something special in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? Saying something special, having just a moment. And that's what I think a lot of people search for. And I think when they did these small rooms, they wanted to eliminate the crowds, but still have the crowds and cut down on this choking. Choking is got a chokehold around battle rap. I think choking is probably one of the biggest peeves of battle rap that's starting to really deteriorate battle rap. Because for two reasons. One, people pay a decent amount of money to see this. And two, when they see the unprofessionalness of the battler, it just turns you off from wanting to see it. I think one of the worst things would be choking on a graduation speech and choking in a battle rap. That's probably the longest minute, 30 seconds, whatever it is that you choking. It's probably the longest minute. And they said one of the biggest fears in the world is public speaking. And that always shows truth during battle rap, during the choking. It always shows truth. They said one of the biggest fears in the world is public speaking. People would rather show their naked body instead of having to get up and do a public speech. They said that's a huge fear. And I think that shows a lot in battle rap. And I don't know how you get your hands around the choking, but I do believe that they're trying. And the only thing that you can really come up with is better preparation. They tried taking the rooms and condensing the rooms down. They tried shrinking. They tried quiet rooms. They didn't try all of that. So it all leads back to just being better prepared and being more professional. I think that a lot of these battlers need to learn how to be more professional about what they're doing and understand what they put on tape is on tape forever. So you get up there on stage and you get your brains blown out in something you love, that's forever going to be able to be seen. So you got all of these choking moments. They are there forever. Forever. And I think that they need to really work on, if they want that money like that, and to get that money, somehow they got to work on being more professional, more consistent. More consistent. That's what they really need to do. Because it's nothing like trying to watch a battle, man, and the dude is up there and he's stammering for like 2-3 minutes, and you starting to feel like, wow, I feel bad for him. So it just cuts the whole battle. It ruins the whole battle, and it just makes you look crazy. It makes you look crazy. But anyway, Briz Rothstein and O-Red, I'm gonna take. I had O-Red 2-1. Well, man, we're about to be out of here, man. Shouts out to everybody, man. Please like and subscribe, man. Shouts out to my co-host, Badmouth Johnny, man. I hope you get better, man. Can't wait to get you back on the mic and stuff. Hope you get better, man. Praying for you. And as I end this, I enjoyed tonight. I hope y'all enjoy my next episode, man. And remember to chase your dreams, because your dreams are not going to chase you. And it's your boy Jay Smooth, man. You can follow me on Twitter, man, Mr. Deadmau5 Radio. Man, follow me on Instagram, Mr. Deadmau5 Radio. Follow me on Facebook at a Deadmau5 Radio /Cash Cow Group. Also, I don't want to forget, shout out to Cash Cow, man. Thanks for everything, man, and everything that you're doing, and appreciate everything. And shout out to everybody and bless up, and remember to chase those dreams. I'm out.
Welcome to Tim Hortons.
I'll take a coffee and...
How about a bagel breakfast sandwich? They're just 2 for $4.
Oh, I like that.
Freshly prepared with savory sausage, fluffy egg, and melted cheese on a freshly baked bagel. Just 2 for $4.
I like that. I just fist bumped your speaker.
Oh, I just fist bumped you back.
Get 2 sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwiches on a plain bagel or English muffin for just $4. Or mix and match for $4. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons. No substitutions or additions. Limited time only at participating restaurants.